welcome in once again, one more time to Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, the only podcast on the Marshland Media empire conglomeration of sound to detail episode by episode, beat by beat, and slam town by slam town. El Rey Network's own Lucha Underground. We are on Season 2, Episode 16, Graver Consequences. And I'm one of your hosts, and my name is Sean. Hello. I don't, we do this every week, and you keep waiting for me to pass it to you, and I never do. I just kind of like you jumping in.
Hey guys, and it's for the last time your co-host James Marshland Monster, name last redacted. And this is why, Sean, we have a huge announcement.
Okay, is this an announcement for me? Because I can't do this alone.
Yeah, okay, well, you clearly you haven't been reading the emails because I'm being replaced by possibly one of today's biggest stars. Come on in here. You know her from her albums 19 and 25? Is that the two of them? Or am I thinking of Chicago lyrics? Oh, you fuckers! No, it's me, Adele. I'm here. I was on Is this it? Talking about Pierce and now I'm here.
Oh, hi, Adele. Welcome to the podcast.
It's a beautiful thing to be here. I love you. Yeah. I love this podcasting. Oh, you know, I'm in the comments on TikTok just saying on every single video, Lucha Underground was the best wrestling out there.
I totally agree with you. James, can I just quick sidebar with you?
Well, also, I would like to say that I have said a couple of the comments where it's just, if King Cuerno's in there, I just say Santos Escobar, and if Prince Puma's in there, I will say, like, did you know he's a shot now?
Can you say that one more time?
A shot now?
You know what? I'm sorry.
Ricochet.
No, I think you were right the first time.
It's not a ricochet, it's a ricochet.
That's phenomenal, and it's so intriguing.
You think I know because I'm in France a lot.
Yeah, no, of course. But it's so interesting to seeing your thought process that you clearly put so much thought into your TikTok comments section. James, again, just quick sidebar.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, you know I deactivated my email account after a variety of catfishing scams. So I feel a little blindsided on this one. I feel like if I knew Adele was going to come in, I wouldn't show up to this record in a filthy undershirt and my robe.
Well, that's on you. You were the one trying to catfish other people.
This is not about blame, okay? This is not about blame.
Fine. I'm just saying I sent it there and I sent it to Messenger. Oh, it was just your Sean Marciniak comedy page that you still have up?
I don't know how to delete it. This part's not a bit. I don't know how to delete it.
And I don't want to show you how. Because I do know how. I have had to do it in the past.
You son of a bastard. All right, we should go back to Adele. Adele! Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. Did you watch today's episode of Lucha Underground? Graver Consequences.
Yeah, Graver Consequences. I'm wondering if in the third season, it's going to be gravest consequences.
In the first season or the third season?
Third.
Oh, the third?
The third season, is it going to be gravest? Of course, you have the grave in the first. You have Graver in the second, and then will it be, maybe in the fourth season, it'll be grave and then a little 8 on its side and 8 sleeping.
Oh, an infinity symbol. Okay, so you were, and it makes sense now. I shouldn't have to ask this clarifying question. You were saying third.
My accent's getting to you. You're like Madonna in the 90s.
Well, I'm trying to.
Because Madonna hung out with me quite a bit in the 90s. I was just a wee.
True?
I was a wee bit.
Yeah, you would have been a child.
Oh, yeah, because, I came on the scene when I was only 19.
Oh, okay. But that was, you weren't 19 in the 90s.
Oh, no, I was like 7. However, pretty much old James is. We're like the same age. Oh, man. It's crazy when you meet someone just like 3 years older or 3 years younger, they don't know what Beast Wars is.
That's honestly true. And I'm glad we can finally talk about that. It's about time we bring up Beast Wars to the collective consciousness.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, going back into my speech impediments,
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if you were saying third or sir with a lisp.
Oh, no, I don't have a lisp, sir.
Oh, well, thank you. So wait, what were you and Madonna, and we'll talk about Lucha Underground as is the point of this podcast soon, but Adele, I need to know, and James, I'm sure you can back me up on this.
Oh, yeah.
What were you, child Adele, doing with like adult, middle-aged Madonna? Like what were the sort of activities? Obviously you couldn't go into clubs, you couldn't go into bars. Were you just watching Beast Wars together? Take us through a day in the life of Adele and Madonna out on the town, you know?
We were bussing on the streets doing harmonies.
Wow, harmony bussin'.
We were like a barbershop duet.
That's so, and could you imagine? James,
I'm sorry, I meant to say barbershop duet.
Because of the French.
Yes.
Oh, of course. James, could you imagine walking down the streets of Paris?
I couldn't.
Okay, well, this whole adventure is going to be a mind blow, then.
Oh, no. Is that where they went in the Lizzie McGuire movie?
Yes. Lizzie. No, I think they were in Greece, actually.
Oh, okay, then I cannot at all. Wait, is that where Madeline is from? Madeline?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then I can. So everything's 2D. The people moving are more detailed than everything in the background. Sometimes the people in the background aren't moving.
That is Paris. Yes.
Okay. Whew, all right.
All right. So we're in Paris. That's first step one accomplished. We did it. And then just turning a corner and stumbling on a couple of 3D. I assume, Adele, you were in 3 dimensions at this time of your youth?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you better believe Madonna was a 3D coming out. I'm talking about a chest giblets, mate.
You call them chest giblets?
Oh, yeah, that's an England thing.
Oh, of course. Could you imagine turning the corner and stumbling upon the chest giblets of a 3-dimensional Madonna and this 7-year-old child harmonizing together? Well, actually, you know what? That's 2 steps. Let's take the first step. Turning the corner and stumbling across Madonna's 3-dimensional chest giblets. And also there's a child there.
Yeah, that's insane, but...
And then they're harmonizing? Oh, my.
It was even crazier because if you had been hanging out with us and you saw us on Halloween, it's not as big over in Europe as it is here in the States, but, you know, Madonna's technically from there, even though she talks exactly like me. And
right. Because you spend so much time harmonizing on the streets of Paris together.
Oh, absolutely. But also, like, because she would hang out in London.
London.
Because, you know, like, but if she was just hanging out in Paris, she'd be saying,
She would become the Cajun Man character from Adam Sandler?
Oh, yeah, I guess Cajun is also a, dialect of the French.
It comes from there. I specifically want to point out that, Adele, when you try and do French, you sound like Cajun Man.
Well, call me Sandler, I'm tickled. So...
Okay, tickle.
If you saw us harmonizing barber shade duet style on the streets.
I believe you mean to say duet.
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay. All right.
If you saw us on October 31st back in 19... you would see me dressed up as Max from Hocus Pocus and... Madonna dressed up as Jenny, the mother dressed up as Madonna from Hocus Pocus.
Wow, that's somewhat narcissistic,
Oh,
actually.
no, it's actually what you comedians would call meta.
Meta?
Yeah, meta, you know, like how Facebook changed the name to that. And I'm like, this isn't the television show Community at all. This is a place where neo-Nazis come from.
Jesus Christ, Adele. True. I mean, you're not wrong, but damn. I thought this was a wrestling podcast, not a truth podcast.
Wait, there is wrestling?
We were Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling is the name of the podcast.
Oh, wait, is this professional wrestling or amateur wrestling? Because James actually did look into that, and yeah, it is pretty fucked up that they call it amateur wrestling when they could just call it freestyle or Greco-Roman Olympic. But, yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
I think it's kind of fucked up that the only way James can admit I'm right on this podcast is through a character of Adele.
Oh, no, I put in the episode description.
Oh, you did? Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Hey.
I said editor's note. Sometimes I put those there in bold.
Hey, editor, a.k.a. James, thank you.
Yeah, because editor's note just means James's notes.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's me in the edit, you know?
All right, we can't be rude to Adele. Adele, yes, this is, to answer your question, a professional wrestling, specifically Lucha Libre podcast.
Oh, yes, Lucha Underground, as I say in comments to James, it's the greatest. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't talking about amateur wrestling, because amateur wrestling is kind of like, how do I put this in like a PC kind of way? It's like boring as shit.
Okay, well, that wasn't it.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now, that one wasn't the PC version.
Well, actually, what I'm realizing now is that, like, I kind of just like listening to this show and not really like doing it.
So, I'll ask this one again. Did you watch today's episode?
Oh, no, what I'm saying is, like, James, I'm giving you your job back.
No, Adele, thank you so much for being here, though.
See you, Adele. Check out your new album coming out whenever you turn a new age. That's right. I'm gonna be a new one each year. There's always a possibility.
That's aging. You're a different number every year.
Hey, what if we're talking about Ra's al Ghul or someone, huh? They don't age.
No, but they're also cheating. They're kind of the cheaters that prove the rule.
Actually, he does age. That's why he needs a Lazarus pit. Well, what about Hawkgirl? Well, technically, she dies and then reincarnated. You know what I mean.
Do you want to bring Adele back in here to continue this argument with yourself?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was continuing with you. You have a knife in your hand up to your throat for some weird reason.
Yeah, I'm not just sure what happened, but this feels right. And I'll continue the episode like this as we talk about episode 16 of season 2, Graver Consequences. Woo! This is the big blow off between Mill and Matanza. They went to that draw last time after Mill shoved Matanza through a roof and Catrina and Dario screamed war at each other. We're going to blow it all off in this big old Grave Consequences match, coffin style. But first we got to take a trip to this dark, fancy underground bar.
Wait, hold on. War! What is it good for? Then what's something that rhymes with nothing that's like wrestling related?
Buffin.
Okay, buffin. Like, okay, all right. War! What is it good for?
Buffin makes me feel good.
Okay, it's absolutely nothing. What? The buffin has to be at the end.
Yeah, I'm doing a mashup.
Oh my God. I'm also quitting. Both Adele and I are done. Also, real quick, guys, if you couldn't tell, I was not called into work today.
Nice. If you could tell, I am called into work early today, and I'm still out here wasting time with Buffin. It makes me feel good.
Wait, what time do you have to leave?
Like 12:30.
Oh, okay, then we're decent.
Oh yeah, we're fine.
We're decent.
We're pretty decent. You're pretty grease, and we're at least at the Dark Fantasy Underground bar where Buffin makes me feel good. We haven't been to this bar before. I was interested. I'm assuming this was probably like filmed at the temple, but like for story purposes, this is not the temple.
No, why would this be? I don't think this is a set. This felt like a bar.
Don't forget, the temple isn't, what was it? It wasn't a set, but it was a large building, right? Or like a warehouse, right?
Well, no, I think it was a set because this is like where another movie had been filmed there, Saw.
Right, they filmed Saw here. So yeah, I don't know, maybe, I hate pulling this card, but I have been to enough movie sets to like feel like, you could build a bar like this on set. So maybe it's a bar, maybe it's a location, but we can agree Dario is outside of the temple.
Oh, yeah.
For this scene. Okay. Dark Fancy Underground bar. Dario walks down these stairs and commiserates the exhaustion of running an underground fight club with Councilman Delgado. I had to go back, like, I think it was 3 weeks ago to remember this guy's name. It's Councilman Delgado.
Meow.
Last scene of the cat threatening the captain of the police force to let go of the Dario investigation. His employer would advise Captain Vasquez to let go of this case.
Mm-hmm. We then find out that we were kind of thinking, is Dario the employer? But no, he's not. However, they're all sort of aware and working with the employer in a way.
Yeah, which is very... We'll get into it. We're jumping it. Adele came through and I just got so excited. We're jumping ahead. I'm sure there is an Adele pun I could have made on that, but I don't know enough Adele songs.
Jumping ahead, what are you? A flip skate video from the early 2000s?
Did you almost dip into the Adele voice when you said, what are?
No.
What are you?
I'm not here to make fun of my friend's accent.
I'm not saying you were making fun of. I just when you're talking to your friends and you sort of slip into their dialects. I've been doing a couple of podcasts with you for enough years that every now and again I'll slip into a song about pubic hair.
Okay.
It's I'm not making, it just kind of happens because your speech patterns sort of bleed into your friends.
I thought you were going to say you go, yeah, or...
Or yeah.
Oh yeah, or
this episode is just a soundboard. This is a 2009 soundboard of James.
Yeah. Oh, 2009 soundboard of James would have been like, "Fuck! I hate myself. God damn it! Why ain't I happy any day?
Buffing makes me feel good."
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember where we were. But yeah, so Delgado is here. There's something going on. We know that much. And we know that Dario is paying Delgado's employer because he gives Delgado a big old envelope of cash.
Oh, yeah.
And he's trying to leave. Just here's your cash money. I'm going to go away. My brother is about to fight for his life. Bye. And Delgado grabs Dario's arm and says, no. We're going to get one more drink. What do you have? Cerveza. He'll have a whiskey. He is, every now and again, someone big dicks energy, Dario, and it's very interesting. Because again, Dario is not strong-arming people all the time. His go-to is much more tactical, much more persuasiveness.
This man, everyone around him is a basic Final Fantasy game, but little Dario's Final Fantasy Tactics advance, okay?
Yeah, okay.
In this, we find out that there's an ascension or something?
Yeah, so Delgado orders Dario and himself a whiskey and warns Dario that he's being sloppy. We've talked about one of Dario's falls is hubris. Pride will make him sloppy. The police are onto him, Delgado warns Dario, and there may already be an officer on the inside. We know of two. Joey Ryan and Cortez Castro.
Mm-hmm.
The temple is very important to Delgado's employer, and this is where we hear... I heard descension. I had to rewind it a couple of times. I'm not totally sure which. If it was the ascension or the descension.
If it's descension, it'd have to be Descension Nation X, and then you do a big old chops. They didn't do that after saying dissension, so I think it is the ascension. Because why would
because they didn't have DX in there?
Yeah,
because
why
Shawn
would
Michaels didn't show up and touch his little peepee with his ex?
Okay, he's got a big peepee, if I will like to correct you, all right?
Excuse me, Shawn Michaels has a big old peepee, okay?
I've seen it outlined in jeans.
Oh, okay. I was I turned the corner onto Paris, France, and there's Shawn Michaels with his fucking dick hanging out.
And his dick is somehow, the vibrations coming from his foreskin are now the trio of this duet that's happening, harmonizing with Adele and Madonna.
Shawn Michaels just turned the corner oh, that's some good music you guys are making. How about this? And his dick just starts vibrating into a perfect E note.
It's kind of like when the dark multiverse, I should say, arose and all the metals on Earth started vibrating at a specific frequency. And then the Batman who laughed emerged.
Mm-hmm. That was the vampire Batman, right? Or the Jokified Batman.
He's, spoilers for this. It's in the dark universe, it's a Batman who is finally driven too far by Joker. So he kills Joker, and from Joker, seeps out concentrated brand X
juice
stuff. And then
the Powerpuff Girls are born. And they all just burst from Batman's chest, and he's left a bloody mess as Buttercup eats his fucking eyeballs.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you expect Buttercup to eat the eyeballs. Is actually Bubbles who starts cannibalizing early.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're technically not cannibals. They are their own entity.
Right. Oh, they're not exactly human. Oh,
yeah.
They're Powerpuff Girls. That's true.
And this is kind of on Batman for going into battle and not waiting minimum 20 minutes after eating sugar, spice, and a whole bucket of everything nice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, honestly, Batman, pull it together. We're not blaming you.
Come on.
But it's your fault girls emerged from your chest.
We are blaming you for going into Crime Alley. That's been a recurring thing the past month on the Patreon is just somehow we go back. There's so much alleyway shit in this stuff Nicole and I are watching. We're like, it's like Batman.
Oh my gosh, there's alleyway shit in this episode too. We got to get to it.
Wait, there is?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, we'll get to it. Also, Sean, real quick, that's the last Batman thing I say. Nicole has been out of town, so every single day she's been gone, I have read an entire trade, which is like 8 issues. I just read it, all right, read it, all right. Gotta go back to the library, read it, all right.
Oh, it's kind of like Nicole is your Batman, and now that Nicole's gone, you had to do that like I think it was New 52, when Nightwing became Batman. So
this was technically before New 52.
Thank you very much. So that the Batman comics are your Nightwing as Batman, and you're just waiting for your Nicole Batman to come on home.
This also technically happened a little bit in Nightfall after Azrael got taken down, and then Nightwing's like, oh, will you do it? And then they have this very touching moment of like, you're my son, you know that? And he's like, thanks, Dad.
We might have to do a Batman podcast
yes,
so that we
please.
can talk about Lucha Underground on the Batman podcast. So either dissension or ascension, some event Delgado is alluding to here. And once that event is complete, the employer will come by personally. And this all but chokes up Dark. He practically spits his drink out when he hears that the employer will be coming through.
Well, he also spat it out because it was whiskey. He's used to drinking thin gravy.
Thin gravy, of course.
And we find out that the employer might be a wrestler, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah. So what, did you think your brother was going to have all the fun? I mean, because at this point, if you're going to have a reveal, Lucha Underground does exist in its own sort of world and its own lore and story. Mm-hmm. But it is still a wrestling show, so you do want your reveals to be wrestlers.
Yeah.
On some extent, yeah. I mean, look, Mysterio, how big of a reveal was that?
Yeah, right? I was thinking it could be a manager, and then that manager, like, has a wrestler with them, sort of. But this was so good, especially the end, and I was high enough to be like, I don't give a shit about spoilers. I'm looking to see who this was, but I couldn't because Lucha Underground is so, like, in a sense, underground, it wasn't watched by billions of people. The synopsises are just of the matches, not the bullshit happening in between, which is there should be. So I couldn't just like click on one thing and be like, this is who the employer is, and this is what they'll be wrestling as. I was like, dang it. So I could not find it.
Which is honestly, what a joy for us then to experience mystery and wonder again.
Well, we already have enough mystery in the second match of the night. Or the first match of the night?
First match of the night is a triple threat for the 7th, I believe, Ancient Aztec Medallion. Yeah, because the Gift of the Gods match will be next week. So we got to get this final medallion out here, and it is going to go to one member of the first team eliminated in the Trios finals. That team being Cortez Castro versus Mr. Cisco versus Joey Ryan.
Sean, I told this before we started recording. I have a name for this team.
You did, yeah. Before we started recording, James got very excited. And I was like, oh, probably because Adele is coming through. But no. James has a brand spanking new name for this team, which I really hope I only see 2/3 of moving forward in this watch through. James, what is your name for Cortez Castro, Mr. Cisco, and Joey Ryan?
The God thruple. Like,
the God.
These three, God.
In season 1, I would agree, But like season 2, Mr. Cisco is awesome.
Well, there's a reason why we don't because they're a package deal with Joey Ryan. I don't want to see that, dude.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. For now, I'm hoping they break off because and Vampiro puts over the transformation of Mr. Cisco into a crowd favorite. And Matt reminds us that pound for pound, Cortez Castro, and Cort has been good. He's been amazing since season 1. So to see both of these guys kind of like at that level is awesome.
I will say something about Cisco, he needs to just get over his fear and go to the doctors. He's very scared of them, I guess, because he's had this injury for such a long time. And he's like, I'm not going to the doctor. They got needles.
It's so the match begins. The crew take out Joey immediately. And then they turn on each other, not in the spirit of competition and ancient Aztec power. Like, it's not like, I hate you. No, we're in a match. One of us has to win. Let's start wrestling.
And because I believe Justin Borden, he was the referee. He, kind of motions to them that you have to do something, guys.
Yeah, you got to touch. It's time to get it on. Sheer drop brainbuster from Castro onto Cisco. Cisco kicks out at 2 because he's so tough. And this is kind of when Matt Stryker pulls up Cisco kicking out with that that shoulder still covered. He got that injured, he says, weeks ago. And I think it was back when they were running with Chavo. So this would have been weeks ago. And he's just never went to the doctor. What a tough guy. I'm like, this is some 2009 bullshit right here. This show was filmed in 2016, but that's some 2009. I don't go to the doctor. I'm too tough. I don't break up with girls. I just ghost them and then hope they forget I exist because I'm too tough to have them. It's weird. I don't go to the if you can. Hey, insurance be damned. I hear you. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about if you have the opportunity and you choose not to, maybe reconsider.
Yeah, guys, you only got one opportunity if it's a life-threatening condition, so you better go to the doctor. I'll say, I did some self-care that normally I wouldn't do. I helped move. It was me, fellow improviser Craig, also co-worker at Chicago Comics. The store bought a huge collection from out in the suburbs. It was 40 plus long boxes of just jam-packed full. So each of them arranged from maybe 30 pounds to maybe 80 pounds. And they're a long box. So it's not easy to pick up. We had to move all of those upstairs, then get them into Chicago Comics to downstairs. And I just tweaked my back, my calf muscle, and one of my thigh muscles. But I stayed. I was like, you want to know what? I'm just going to take it easy for the next couple days. And now I'm back to full health.
Let's go, baby. Take the time to heal yourselves. You beautiful, beautiful bastards out there.
So now, I'm to the Bane workout. I'm doing 1,000 of each thing now on my workout.
Oh, let's fucking go.
I'm stopping there. It just is so long now.
Well, we can stop this match here. After that sheer drop kick out, Joey Ryan rolls back in, schoolboy pins, and picks up the win over Castro. 1 minute, 18 seconds. Joey Ryan shoves the medallion into his pants. He will be going to the Gift of the Gods match next week.
This match was getting so good, and then it just ends.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Joey Ryan anymore.
Well, what I want to talk about is a new theory I have for possibly the greatest manager wrestler team in Lucha Underground right now.
Hit me with it, baby.
And Catrina. You go with the story, and then I'll end up saying what I think this new theory is.
Well, we cut to Mill's meditation room. We've seen this before. Room filled with candles, Mill kneeling as Catrina. Yes.
I thought this was his bathroom. That's why all the candles are there. That's why he's always kneeling on, kind of a seat-looking thing.
You think he kneels when he poops?
Oh, yeah. It's like a squatty potty.
Oh, okay. I mean, there's nothing in the rule book that says your meditation room can't also be your bathroom.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Not mutually exclusive. Either way, Catrina enters behind Mill. Gosh, see, now I hope it's not a bathroom because she enters directly in the stink line.
Hey, real quick, those two things aren't mutually exclusive, but you in relationships are mutually inclusive.
I don't think I understand, but you are raising the roof right now, so I know it was a good joke.
Because you're non-monogamist.
Yeah, wait, so me and relationships are mutually inclusive.
Meaning like, hey, the more the merrier.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
I know I'm not saying like, hey, you're having orgies, but like it's still, the turn of phrase you would use for NATO, is that what it is?
That North American Trade Organization?
No, what's the...
ENM?
Yeah, there we go.
Non-monogamous? Yeah. I joined NATO. I became... so I'm dating Canada. I'm dating Mexico. I'm dating all these North American trade. Yeah, it's still... I don't know. It's still very new to me that like it's weird to like own that, but I am owning that. I'm just learning to own it a little bit more every day.
You're like one of those babies in that singing scene from Rugrats the movie. This world is something new to me.
Yeah, I am a baby. I am a background singing baby from Rugrats the movie.
And remember, one of those was Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah.
Remember, we were supposed to do that soundtrack and movie for Shuffling the Deck.
Yeah, then we probably got distracted. I probably, I don't know, had something going on.
I think the pandemic fully happened, and then you were like it started picking back up, and you're like, let's not hang out together.
Yeah, because that's what, like that October when they shut everything down again. And then we had to because we were rehearsing for Shakespeare at the time, we were doing Taming of the Shrew, and I wept in the freezer at my job again because we couldn't do the show. We should talk about Lucha Underground this episode.
Yeah, we have been. It's Catrina. What's she up to?
Catrina enters behind Mill in the meditation room. I've been waiting for this moment 197 years, which is, I think, the first time we get a hard number.
Yes, and she's been waiting in the darkness for that long.
A prisoner of the darkness.
Yes, so this is what I think. I think she is a lich, like liches use Horcruxes, right? That's kind of like
I think so.
Yeah, they imbued their soul into items so they can live forever. I think The Rock is her.
I think you're right. I have her whole monologue written out, so let's
do it.
Catrina continues, as a boy, you spent only days in your mausoleum of stone and rubble. A reminder, Muertes gained his powers after he was crushed in an earthquake by a building. Mausoleum of stone and rubble before I guided you to safety. As a man, you spent weeks roaming the underworld until I freed you from death's grip and made you more powerful than ever. Locking you in that coffin and bringing you back from the dead was all part of my plan, but not tonight. This refers to season 1, the grave consequences between Phoenix and Mill, who, again, Phoenix beat Mill only for Mill to come back even stronger and more fucked up. Tonight, Pascual Mendoza, would you bring Dario Cueto's brother to his knees and break every bone in his body before you close the lid of that coffin? I want you to watch and see me lick the face of the monster Matanza Cueto, the face of a god, and make us immortal. Mill takes her hand as he rises, and they walk out of the room together. And then, who is that lurking in the shadows as they leave? King Cuerno, the man hunting Mill.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. After they leave, you just see him kind of like peek behind a curtain and be like, I've been here the whole time. You guys have been fucking on me for a while now, and I'm about to... King Cuerno was lurking in the background in the shadows.
Oh, I didn't recognize him because he had a nose clip on.
Yeah. That was the biggest part of the disguise was the nose clip.
Because it smells like poopy.
Yeah, because it's his bathroom, and Catrina doesn't mind. We have confirmation of a timeline, 197 years, and of intent. Intent on 2 accounts, that it was always a plan for Phoenix to beat Mill so that he could come back stronger, and for what is their overall intent, immortality. Mm-hmm. We also have confirmation that Mill, as a man, you spent weeks roaming the underworld until I freed you from death's grip. I'm not sure if that refers to Mill dying in the earthquake, because she says it's a man. So no, it's probably in reference to Mill being buried alive in grave consequences against Phoenix, and then her bringing him back from there. But that clarification from last season, from what was going on between Phoenix, Mill, and Catrina, is huge. Mm-hmm. And this confirmation of it's cool to have characters shrouded in mystery, but we want to know what they want. And they've clearly been doing something for some reason for this entire series to hear it confirmed feels very satisfying.
Mm-hmm. It's like the reveal in Batman, The Last Night on Earth.
I can't wait to do this Batman podcast where we can talk about Lucha Underground.
Okay, so one, I would love a comic book artist out there, just like a comic artist, it's just a 4-panel comic. You can just throw it up on Instagram. It'd be real easy to read. The first is the Hulk, and it's like, how'd you get your superpowers? The Hulk says, got hit by a gamma-radiated bomb. Or if you're going with like the movies or TV lore, or how it's changed, whatever. It could be, but let's just do the bomb. Then
take it.
Daredevil's there, and he said, I got sprayed in the face with chemicals. Spider-Man says, I was bit by a radioactive spider. And then it's Mill. He says, I got buried by a building.
Yeah. And it worked. It worked. I got buried by a building and discovered by a hottie with a stone.
No, just I got buried by a building. A building fell on me.
To be fair, I don't want to, but we also do need to give Catrina credit for giving Mill powers. Like, otherwise, he just would have been a dead child.
No, he would have found his way out.
I don't know. You got to give Catrina's the one that brought him something.
If it wasn't Catrina, the goddamn League of Shadows would have grabbed him and put him in a Lazarus pit.
Yeah, and honestly, and I'm grateful it was Catrina, so that we have something to talk about on our Lucha Underground podcast. We'll save the League of Shadows for the Batman.
So we find out that one Matanza is a god. That was something looked over, and that licking his face will give them immortality somehow. But
well, it's probably the same way that Phoenix's powers brought him back, right? I wonder how much Matanza is a god and how much Matanza has the power of a god. Because we know that Matanza was born immortal. He was just Dario's younger brother. He was Dario's plain younger brother that Dario and Matanza's father used temple magic to imbue the powers of a god. So it's like it's that weird, like, is it wrong to call Matanza a god? Not necessarily, but it's a little more complicated than that.
In DC sense, it's like Shazam.
Perfect, yes. Just plain old Billy Little Boy, and then Shazam powers of gods.
And I had one more question on this. If you could lick a god, who would it be? I can say mine if you need to think.
I do have an answer. Let's 3, 2, 1 it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Rayquaza.
Oh, Pokemon lead singer of Motorhead.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
One is actually a god. The other is just a man who pretended.
Trick question, dickhead. Lemmy is God. Trios championship match. Evilise and Son of Havoc and a third partner, because Angelico is still injured, versus Prince Puma, Dragon Azteca Jr., and Rey Mysterio.
The Royals versus the Odd Thruple Mundo Edition.
That's right. Johnny Hero subbing in for the injured Angelico. So that means Taya is also ringside. Fuck, man. Y'all know how I feel about Johnny. What a good guy. What a hero. I still gotta watch. Him and Taya have a new YouTube series out. Have you? You shared it with me.
Yeah, because Mitch is in it.
Yeah, fucking Mitch it's such a weird. Mitch from the Doughboys, who also appeared on the Twisted Metal show with AEW World Heavyweight Champion Samoa Joe, is appearing on their Johnny Mundo's new AEW. It's Johnny Loves Taya. It's like a scripted, sort of like mockumentary style reality show. What I'm gathering from it is kind of like a Mighty Wind, but for like a celebrity couple reality show. And yeah, it looks so. God, I love these two so much.
It's like Lollipop by James Gunn and the lady from The Office when they were married.
Oh, that sounds cute.
Oh, it's not. It's a trauma movie.
Oh, never mind. That was a really bad time for me to not speak for a while so I could burp. So Johnny and Taya are here.
And Johnny comes in just like this all pink, like faux fur jacket thing.
Which he's been wearing a couple of weeks now.
And Stryker says, oh man, you know he's a confident guy because you need confidence to, or maybe it's just stupidity to wear pink in this town. And I'm like, this town is still Los Angeles, okay?
Yeah.
Like it's still LA.
Yeah, we're also like at peak Kanye West relevancy in terms of fashion. Pink is in as fuck right now.
He wore pink?
I always like the pink polos.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not into that mainstream shit, dude.
Yeah, you're only into
Lucha Underground.
Prince Puma, waiting for us to get back from commercial break, as we do, leads the temple into calling Johnny a big punta. Like you get that big punta, and I fucking it's cool. It's Ricochet. He's been around for a while before joining Lucha Underground. He does just seem so much more confident in this season, which is so he's amazing. He's truly the best. Ivelisse and Dragon Azteca Jr. start off. They shake hands in respect as the bell rings. Opening exchange, very evenly matched until stereo kip-ups, and we see Ivelisse's knee, her left knee, buckle a little. You know, we remember that history of injuries. But Dragon, still fighting with honor, offers her another handshake before tagging in Rey and allowing Ivelisse to tag in Son of Havoc.
Commentary starts saying that Rey Mysterio is the reason why many of these people are wrestling the way they do.
Vampiro says all of them. He straight up says like every luchador you're seeing on your screen right now and around the world inspired by Rey Mysterio.
And then Stryker says, but this is the difference. It could be... This is the classic pioneer versus the new masters. Will these new kids be able to take down the pioneer of this?
Absolutely. And what will the new kids bring? I mean, especially we see Ricochet and everyone in this match, Rey Horus. They bring so much more. Johnny Mundo, to an extent, brings so much more to the world of like high-flying Lucha Libre style offense. And, Matt fucking Cross. So, yeah, it's Son of Havoc versus Rey Mysterio in the ring right now. I wrote, this exchange is everything. I loved them locking up. Eventually, they get to this point where they're each holding each other's legs, like they each caught a kick. So they're both standing on one leg and holding their opponent's leg. And like, put my leg down. No, you put my leg down. On the count of 3, we'll put each other's legs down. 1, 2, 3. Put each other's legs down. Very respectful. 2 baby faces. They go through another exchange. There is neither man has a clear advantage. You can even see Rey, this established veteran, the man known as the greatest luchador in the world for decades now, getting frustrated by Son of Havoc and how much he can do. I mean, you see him like he mocks Son of Havoc's beard by pretending to stroke his own. That was what I got really excited about. I'm like, you frustrated Rey Mysterio with your own high-flying offense to the point where he has to mock you. Usually, you don't get that a lot from Rey. Rey is a pretty cool customer.
I'd love it if Ivelisse, before slapping Joey last episode, did a similar thing that Rey did to Son of Havoc, but instead she just kind of goes yeah, and kind of does a jack off motion to Joey Ryan, then just slaps his ass.
I would love that, but I also appreciate her not doing that because it meant less screen time for Joey Ryan.
Oh no, it's focused on her, and then she slaps him.
Yeah, but you might need to put him in the shot somewhere, even at the back of his head. No, but it's so it's an awesome moment for any wrestler, I think, to individualize your opponent by specifically mocking them. But to see Rey, and it's, honestly, anytime seeing Rey in Lucha Underground, it's kind of mind blowing if you're a longtime WWE fan and seeing him in this other context. It's just very exciting.
I only know him from WCW days, that cruiserweight shit.
Halloween Havoc 97, baby.
I'm more of a 95 guy.
I don't think he was in WCW in 95.
Isn't that the worst one? The one with the big old monster truck?
I think that's maybe. Oh, shit. Is that 90? I think that's 96.
Dang it. Sorry, my joke failed.
No, it might be 95. You might be right. It was a good joke.
It was 95.
Oh, word. Okay.
Suck me dry, fucker. You were the pioneer, but I am the master now.
Jesus. Can we bring Adele back?
Hey, who am I? I did the me.
Yeah, I was going to say you. James stood up, jerked off to camera, which no one can see, and then finished the joke himself. It's me. Nicole's out of town. I've been doing a lot of lately.
If I were to stand up and then you saw 10 arms go and do the jack off motions, you'd be like, okay, well now you're me.
Yeah. Wait.
'Cause you're NATO, bitch.
I'm not that NATO. I'm not that NATO. Anyway.
We're back,
Johnny
baby.
tags himself in behind Havoc's back, Puma tags in. They continue that rivalry, that Johnny Puma rivalry.
Gina.
Puma gets dumped outside. Taya starts laying it into him behind the ref's back. And Evilise, who is a reminder on the same team as Taya and Johnny, she gets involved. She's like, this is my team, and this is not how we win. Johnny fakes a tag out to Evilise, flips her the bird instead. But Puma takes advantage of the distracted Johnny to tag out. Azteca and Son of Havoc are back in there. High-speed offense for offense. Son of Havoc hits the cutter to take over, start building momentum for his team. Tags in Evilise. Johnny, let me in. You stay out there. No, let me in. Johnny, you suck. You stay out there and you think about what you've done. Big double team combo. Son of Havoc's high-risk offense with Evilise's devastating kicks. The odd throuple, even only two of them, are fucking well-oiled and machine-like. Mm-hmm. Dragon fights off the two-thirds odd throuple long enough to tag in Mysterio. 619 incoming, but Evilise trips Ray up. Ooh. They discuss. They're talking back and forth as Johnny loads up a springboard enziguri. However, Ray ducks out of the way, and Evilise eats all of that kick. Dragon Hurricane Rana's Johnny into the barricade. That fucking Hurricane Rana into the barricade was crazy. Ray is finally cleared for Ray to hit the 619, but Havoc's recovered. Big boot cuts off Ray. However, Ray is a veteran. He can find a 619 out of anywhere. Nails Havoc with it, tags Puma to clinch the win, 7 minutes, 58 seconds.
Sean, what a match. The Royals rule, and you can clip that, you freaks.
Yeah, wait, you're the one who clips all of this stuff.
What?
You're the editor. You're the one who clips all of this to put it on TikTok.
I'm not going to clip me just saying the Royals rule, because then people would think like I'm supporting the monarchy.
Yeah, and you know what? We're eating your ass, Charles. Can fucking go to town on that tuchus and eat that ass. Eat the rich. Batman. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Vampiro's going real hard on the ex-wife jokes recently, and I'm like, are you okay?
I missed it, actually. I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, he said another one.
Oh, Vampiro, I hope you're doing okay. After the match, Johnny and Taya blame Evilise and Havoc. Evilise goes to check on Son of Havoc, who just got pinned, and Taya fucking jumps her ass from behind. She attacks Evilise, and Johnny is just like, yeah. So we're building to something between Johnny and Taya versus Son of Havoc and Evilise.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we are also building to this main event tonight. Lucha Underground Championship match, Graver Consequences, Mil Muertes with Catrina versus Matanza with Dario Cueto. A reminder from last week, there are 4 coffins out here because not only will the loser be shoved into a coffin, so will the loser's manager, either Dario or Catrina. The procession of death, the faces of death, arrive. They return to lay wreaths at both coffins. As Vampiro ponders Mil's experience, this was an interesting question because Mil was in Graver Consequences last year. We talked about that with Phoenix. Stryker kind of asked, is his experience going to be an advantage? And Vampiro brings up a good point. It's hard to say. Mil's experience of being in the match last year, as well as being literally buried alive by rubble, is that an advantage of experience, or are these scars of trauma more of an obstacle to overcome?
Oh, yeah.
And only Mil can answer that question for himself.
Yeah, my guess is both Sean and I, out of the two of us, I have been sliced and assaulted with a knife more times than he has.
I think that's true. I think that's fair to say.
And that's at me just once of a real assault. Not a real, it was my sister, but she cut me real good playing with a knife. But I think having that experience, I am afraid of knives. So if we were to be like, all right, guys, one of us is going to get stabbed with a knife, I think Sean would be the one to take that offer up.
Do you think I would have the advantage in a knife fight between the two of us, having not been stabbed and scarred by your sister and not having that fear of knives?
I can't even think about that, Sean. Knife fights are the most terrifying thing ever.
Knife fights are fucked up. Hey, go out there and hug somebody instead of getting into a knife fight today. That's my advice to all of you.
I say get into a coffin because your ass is graved encounter.
Ooh, I like that. And Matanza's ass gets jumped at the top. As the bell rings, Mill's immediately on Matanza. This hatred goes, quote, soul deep. Not bone deep, soul deep.
Also, as Mill was coming to the ring, Stryker says that you can hear the heavy breathing of life heaving. It's like, that's you were just trying to fill time, sir.
I mean, yeah, it's weird. Like, he's just trying to fill time, but I'm also in love with the phrase. This hatred goes soul deep, not bone deep, soul deep.
Well, that's
a lot of talk
fine.
on souls. Throughout this entire match, I feel like Vampiro brings up souls a couple of times.
Well, yeah, because he needs to head to the cobbler as his souls are running ragged.
These are his shoe soles?
Yeah.
That's that. I like that. I like that pun. Matanza catches Mill in a German suplex lariat before dumping him outside onto a coffin. So the fight's out of the ring. The fight's going to go all over. We don't go up the stands. We kind of keep it to the ringside area, but oof, this fight goes all over the place. Catrina breaks a wooden chair over Matanza's back, which only is going to make him mad. And, to be fair, distracted long enough for Mill to spear Matanza into the front row of chairs. We now have 3 death boxes all lined up as Matanza powerbombs Mill onto one of them and begins to loosen one of the turnbuckles. Like he's unscrewing the bottom turnbuckle. Mill with a flatliner off of the apron onto 2 more coffins. These boxes are fucked up.
Oh yeah.
These like almost immediately. This is like it's hard to break. I don't want to break this up into acts super clearly. It's not a super fast-paced match. Like these guys take their time, but they're beating the shit out of each other. And these fucking caskets.
So much so that Vampiro says, I love the evil. I love the death. I'm a fan of this.
Mm-hmm. Vampiro, me and you both, brother. Me and you both.
I could use a little more of the evil, a little less of the death.
I feel that way in life. Not necessarily in this match, though. Like, in general, I would prefer evil over death.
Do you want to know if we could eliminate all evil from the world, but like people, I don't know, die at 50, I think that's a better life.
Honestly, yeah. Hold on. That's true. I repositioned my stance. I like that a lot. Matt questions why Mill would want to enter a second Grave Consequences match. Vampiro says Mill knows what it takes to really damage somebody's soul for the rest of time. And I didn't realize Mill was my ex-wife. Ho!
See, you're saying them a lot.
It's fun. Dario tries to trip up Mill, who sets up a coffin in the corner of the ring. Matanza takes this opportunity to just start gut-wrench suplexing Mill to hell.
Can I say something real quick? My final weeks of it relates to the my wife things.
Okay.
My ex-wife things. I was at the end of my time at Burger King, and the district manager and then like the big dog manager of like all of the areas Burger King's was there, and I needed to do a deep clean of the back area of the tile floor to you know, they were being inspected. And he was like, you gotta just get it like really, really wet. The floor's just gotta be really wet. You gotta get it really wet. And I go, oh, trust me, I know how to get things wet. Ask my ex-wife. And they
How old were you?
Maybe like 20.
Okay, so just a 20-year-old making my ex-wife jokes.
Yeah, yes. And then nothing. They do nothing besides just say, all right, yeah, like, you got it. And then they leave.
Because it's one of those things, like, they probably weren't sure, like, does he actually have an ex-wife? How hard has this child lived? Like, you can't assume that. Especially, like, you can't assume someone doesn't have an ex-wife that they used to make super wet.
I wish the big top dog manager who's, was probably in his mid 60s. I wish he had said, my wife hasn't been wet in years.
He just starts weeping because his wife is so dry. We listened to Ben Shapiro and she just got drier. This is weird.
No, I think in this scenario, he's trying to make her wet. Like he's like an anti-Shapiro, but it just isn't happening.
And I think one of the reasons, and to be clear, one of the reasons he is trying, but he thinks that listening to Ben Shapiro will make his wife wetter. When indeed, it has had the opposite effect.
Or she listens to Shapiro and she's like, well, my pussy shouldn't be wet. So she just has like literal sponges in there and then like wrings them out hourly.
I can't get my wife to stop listening to Ben Shapiro. Help. My wife refuses to stop listening to Ben Shapiro, and I need your help.
He's like, someone take my wife's headphones away from her. It's nothing but Shapiro.
Someone take my wife to a deprogramming camp. I gotta get her off this Shapiro cult.
Then masks start ripping off, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. Dario tries to trip up Mills, sets up the coffin in the corner. Matanza hits the gut wrenches. Reaper's trident spear to stop Matanza's momentum. And then Mill goes to finish unhooking the turnbuckle. So he removes that little hook from the turnbuckle, takes it as a weapon. Matanza blocks that, takes the hook himself, gets a good bonk in before tearing at Mill's mask. So that's when the mask ripping starts. And a reminder from Vampiro, to rip someone's mask off, you're insulting their soul. This is a little trick my ex-wife could use. Ha ha! Matanza sets up the coffin. Mill recovers, slams Matanza onto the lid. Dario's holding his key to resurrect Matanza as Mill goes under the ring to take out a chainmail steel glove. I love interesting weapons. A chain-linked steel glove is a very interesting weapon.
And we've been talking about the Dark Knight, but this is a night of darkness. This shit ruled so hard, and it only got better when you found out that first we see someone says like, a monster with a metal hand, which does not sound like our future robot overlords. Just want to put that out there. They're not monsters.
We love you, future robot overlords.
They're so good. But to find out that the metal glove has story purposes, boy, oh boy, I was like, this shit rules.
Oh, wait, I missed the story purpose. I was too busy writing down Matt Stryker calling Mill part man, part Dr. Doom, Mil Muertes. Which I'm like, I'm pretty sure Dr. Doom is still a man. He's just covered in metal.
Yeah, and who's writing this shit? Brian Cage.
I'm a machine. I love he's such a fucking dork. God, I love you, Brian Cage. Wait, what's the story purpose? Yeah, the story purposes to the glove.
So Mill then is about to be slammed into a coffin, and we see it zoomed up on the coffin camera. Then out from this metal, boosh, Mill punches through the metal with that glove on, and that would be the story purposes.
Sorry, yeah, that fucking shot is amazing. Let's get there. God, that was so fucking cool. Matanza has to punch Mill in the dick to turn things around after the glove assault. Throws the lid, the coffin, Mill all out of the ring. Matanza gets Mill into the coffin. Mill barely blocks the lid closing before punching his way through the lid and choking Matanza. We've talked before about Jason Voorhees and like horror moments between these two. This one, Mill basically just being like, hey, don't forget, I'm the big bad monster daddy here, motherfucker. And just, not just punching through the lid, but then choking him with that hand still through the lid of the coffin. Like, not even like I punch through the lid and then I get out. It's like, no, I'm gonna punch through the lid and fuck your throat up. It's so good.
So in D&D, there's at least on NADPod, they'll talk about the rule of cool, where as long as it's cool, DMs will sometimes be like, for NADPod, I guess there is a Ruby Tuesdays within this fantasy setting. But if you guys all of a sudden are like, hey, we're going to rob the Ruby Tuesdays to get all their gold, then it's no longer there because now it's having practical purposes instead of just flavoring. So when you see this metal glove, you think like, that's just rule of cool. I'm fine with it. But then it takes a turn of, oh, wait, no, this wasn't just for coolness. This had practical purposes that made in an amazing shot be a reality. Whoever came up with that idea, just like applaud, absolute applaud.
Well, and I think it also hits rule of cool in that, like, in a wrestling match, in the logic of the wrestling match, you are trying to win. You probably shouldn't. You should just get out of the coffin. You should, it's gonna be a lot quicker to just escape the casket. Sure. But rule of cool, we are creating spectacle here. We are doing something a little extra. take the step. Like everything doesn't, you're allowed to suspend your disbelief for that Ruby Tuesdays, for that cool moment. It's kind of this, I mean, rule of cool in improv to me, like, there are these rules of improv. You yes and, you do this, that, and the other. Can you break any of those rules if it's cool? Abso-fucking-lutely, and you should. That's how you get inspired moments. That's how you get those special moments that aren't just the formula of a wrestling match. That's how you get something distinct, something unique, something you remember. Are these rule of cool moments.
But how you get precious moments is go to a Hallmark store.
Mm-hmm. Or a DVD store that carries Precious.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of moments in that movie.
Yeah. Like a whole 90 minutes worth of moments.
I'm going to guess that's a longer movie than that.
Probably. I haven't seen it. Mil bonks Matanza with the ring bell. Dario brings the key up to Matanza to try and like, hey, recover, please. When Catrina slaps the face of Dario, however, she does not see Matanza behind her. With the chair and the bonk, and Matanza now taking the rock from Catrina after she's been laid out with that chair, throws the rock into a coffin, slams the lid onto this stone from the rubble of Mil's youth. So remember last week when we were joking around about the rock is going to be thrown into a coffin? That wasn't a joke. That happens.
Yay.
The rock first, and how then Matanza lifting this lifeless body of Catrina, who no longer has this stone, no longer has this Horcrux, this connection to power.
Real quick, The Rock first sounds like the call sheet on Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji, okay. We could have gone with a lot of movies there. He is the leading man of Hollywood.
I wouldn't say on The Rock because he's just, or the Young Rock, I mean.
He's more of a cameo appearance.
He's the narrator. He's sort of doing a, Wonder Years thing, but like you see him, or in the Goldbergs, a Patton Oswalt thing.
What would you do if I sang out of Stone? Oh, no. I started that joke, saw that it had no ending, and said, you know what? Fuck it. We're going for it.
What's the next thing?
So Catrina is now in a coffin. Lid gets closed. It is only Mil. It is only Mil left now, but Mil is going to fucking fight. He dives through the ropes onto Matanza.
He's a
and
fighter.
Just starts ground and pounding him. He is a fighter as Matanza has woken up death. That's a bad idea. In the ring, Mil brings in the only undestroyed casket, one-handedly drags it into the ring. Matanza runs in, big power slam, tries to put Matanza into the casket and shut the lid. However, Matanza blocks. Throat punches his way out of the box. Matanza hits a gut-wrench powerbomb onto the coffin closed lid, rolls him in. Mil starts backfisting Matanza to get, like, these backfists that he's hitting Matanza with just to stay out of the box are fucking brutal. However, it's really not enough. He throws these backfists. Mil creates the distance. He tries to close it, but Matanza, Wrath of the Gods power slam into the coffin, closes the lid. Matanza and Dario win graver consequences, 14 minutes and 47 seconds. And the temple fucking hates it.
So did I.
Big boos all over the place. They killed our boy and Catrina and The Rock. Dario takes the mic and the belt from Melissa Santos to announce his own brother's victory. He's going to gloat. He goes to open the casket to fucking laugh in Catrina's face. But there's nothing there.
No.
An empty box cannot contain death.
Empty box sounds like my barren ex-wife.
Jesus. The faces of death, those who processed at the beginning of this match and brought the caskets out, they are there to collect their prize. Death always collects their prize. So they, like they did last year, take out the caskets, specifically the casket that holds Mil. Dario, shaken but not stirred, leads his brother out of the temple with his key and their championship. And as the faces of death are processing and leaving with the casket, we see at the head of the casket, one of them remove their hood And who is it? Nose clip gone. To make it clear, it is King fucking Cuerno.
So cool.
Now in the possession of Mil Muertes. The fact that King Cuerno is in possession of the body of Mil, not just he has a big jacked friend, that's a lot of magic. That's a big power play from Cuerno.
Unless he's trying to get him away from Catrina because he's like, hey, man, Catrina's like really mean to you. I don't like this relationship you have. Like, I need to get you away from this toxic behavior. And now we're going to be best buds.
Possibly. However, King Cuerno has been pretty toxic this entire time.
He's just doing what he does, Hunt.
Yeah, toxically.
He's not.
King Cuerno has been a piece of shit since season 1.
I think he's been pretty fine this last season.
He's been better.
Because it's just been like the top dog kind of shoving him around. He's now the underman.
Yeah. I mean, yes. It's weird. Like, he's definitely, him fighting back against Mil when Mil was top dog was interesting, but he also like did it by lying, by going back on deals. Like, King Cuerno is unscrupulous. I think even when he was the underdog, he is someone who will do what it takes to survive and to hunt. He is definitely more along the lines of, I'll do what it takes to win before I'll show you honor, or I'll like honor my own friendships and alliances. King Cuerno's out for King Cuerno.
I love him.
Morality aside, I love him too. But morality aside, I think King Cuerno's first and foremost priority is King Cuerno.
Now, I think it's getting people away from toxic relationships.
Literally has never done that once. I don't know. Yeah, we're just hoping this is going to be what's happening here.
Yeah, because it'd be cute.
It'll be cute, but I don't want to. But I love Catrina. And I don't think Catrina and Mil are that toxic. I think like it's pretty bad because I'm pretty sure the only way they can both stay alive is through each other. So there's some codependency there. But that's just making deals with the devil, you know? There's always going to be some codependency when you become a lich.
I think they're as toxic as a lead Britney Spears single.
Post-credit section. In an alley, Batman style, Councilman Delgado is waiting for a limo to pull up. He is here to meet with his employer. He gets into the limo, gives his employer, who's off screen, we don't get to see him, Dario's envelope of money from the beginning of the episode. And as he hands the money over, the driver window goes up and the lights go down. And you see immediately Delgado starts sweating. He's relaying what he told Dario. Everything he just told Dario, warns his employer of Dario's hubris for his own brother, but reminds him and tells his employer what he told Dario, that his brother is not the most powerful being walking the earth. You are my lord. Not my employer, not Mr. Boss Man, my lord. The cigar gets lit by the unseen employer, and that's our fucking show, dude.
Ooh, I'm excited. So is Sean, but what I'm more excited about is to hear what Sean has to plug.
Oh, baby, you know me over on twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser. We are getting through the Dark Souls 3 DLC. We are dying a lot. We are getting distracted by silly videos on YouTube, and we're having a good time. We'd love for you to come over. That's twitch.tv/GooseVonKaiser.
Ooh, hey guys, new single with Dragon Boy Suede out this Friday, the 23rd. GOD Goods on Display. Produced by me, featuring Dragon Boy Suede, aka Howard Kramer, and cover art by darlinghomebody.com. Go check out her stuff. It's Nicole. And listen to my other podcasts, such as Mostly Speaking Sentai, Formulaic. I'm about to finish the script for our Pup Named Scooby-Doo episode. Sean was in the chat when I was writing that in office hours. Oh boy, it's a good one.
Very excited, hoping I get cast again.
As Shaggy, you gotta be.
Probably, yeah, I know. I remember listening to the episode and being like, I really want to play Shaggy again, but I don't want to assume.
No, yeah, you're Shaggy now.
Well, no, don't know. I'm hyping them. I'm hyping up the mystery. Will I play Shaggy again? Ooh, you gotta tune into Formulaic on the Mostly Speaking Sentai Network to find. Fuck. That's
also,
not,
just
that's
say
Marshland
formulaic
Media-
wherever podcasts are found. You don't need to say, because then people are like, do I need to go to the website to listen to it? No, wherever you're listening to this, you can listen to Mostly Speaking Sentai, Sweet Child of Time, Hit It and Crit It, Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, This Movie's Gay, and Height of Horror. Okay, brothers?
Fuck the Doughboys.
Okay, that's getting edited out. I don't like that.
Sorry.
They're nice people.
I know.
Head over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where for $5 a month, you get exclusive content every single Friday. This Friday is Engage with Nicolas Cage. Nicole and I talking about 2010s or 2009? One of the two. Kick ass. It's so good, guys. Spoiler alert. It holds up. And if you're a $10 patron, you get monthly bonus content, which includes Sean and I from January doing that high watch along of, which you don't need to watch along to it. The audio's in the background. It's us watching along to the Blue Collar Comedy Tour, the movie.
Had a blast shitting on this terrible comedy special. That's not all terrible, but mostly terrible.
And this month, Sean should be coming over to watch the other Vampiro feature-length film, The Dead Sleep Easy, maybe?
You gotta get on this Patreon before we do this, or even right after. It'll be up.
Yeah.
But you gotta get on for this, because we're gonna have a whole bunch of hoots we would love for you to be there for.
And as a $10 patron, you get shout-outs on every single free feed podcast. So let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z. The Waz, Orion, Jordan B. The Chaos Witch, my Bickle brother in Common Law, Joshua, Jakis, Steve Barnes, Sweet Child of Time, and Introvoid just put out a new single, I believe, that I mixed and mastered. My mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, That Fed, twitch.tv/Core Winning, it's Corwin, and from the Rom Complex and the aforementioned Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's twitch.tv/R2 Shelby 2. I've been James.
And I've been Sean. This has been Sweaty Time Pro Wrestling, Purple Prancer Forever. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.